Hi there. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody this morning? How's everybody's mantras and meditations and breath coming along? I had a hard time sleeping last night for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And I forgot to tell you that this is an awesome breath for going to sleep with. I often sleep in what I'd call Shavasana, which is corpse or just laying flat on my back, is a way that I prefer to sleep. I have a little bit of degenerative cervical disc stuff going on from years and years of playing sports and dancing, and also had a couple of whiplashes. One that activated these discs that made me aware that they were overused, as most of the disc parts of our body are overused. So yesterday we were talking about habits, and I thought of a couple of other areas that would be really a great place to incorporate this. I remember when I was first really dialing into getting this breath incorporated into my life was I would when I was at a red light, I would make sure that I was breathing properly or fully, I guess, full deep diaphragmatic breathing is what this is in its sort of more scientific terms. I would, at red lights, I would make sure that I would put my hand on my belly and breathe down into my belly, and then do that 1, 2, 3, 4-step process. Or even sitting and studying, and all the times that I've studied or my certifications, I was always grounded in the seat that I'm sitting in, which is another very important part. Feeling my feet on the floor, feeling my breath into the lower abdomen and coming out and expanding to my side ribs. And sometimes when I'd be sitting there writing, I would find it really soothing just to sit in this grounded place. And I always say that, when we're in the parasympathetic nervous system, that's a natural regulating nervous system, and there's a few ways to get there. Sometimes we can do it with alternating our hands. So we can have one hand on one arm, one hand on the other, and slowly lifting our hands. This is often called butterfly, and often it's used by first responders, and it can be used by anyone, and it's really good with children. So if the children in your environment, in your space, are feeling a little hyperactive due to not being able to go out and play with their friends or whatever, you can always just play this little game called butterfly, and it allows the hands to lift. And it's actually scientifically proven that after 90 seconds that it engages the parasympathetic nervous system. I guess that's why we too, as rock a baby, right? We've got we're rocking, we're creating that rhythmic force within the body, because the whole body is really a rhythm. It's a rhythm of expansion and contraction. Expansion and contraction. Sometimes when we have traumatic experiences, we go into a full contraction, and what happens is the body doesn't go through the entire defense system to allow it to come back into that expansion, that place of safety. So if you liken it to like a deer, eating grass in the meadow, and here's a crack of a twig somewhere off in the distance. The deer looks up, does a full span of its environment, and if it feels it completes its defense system and brings it back to a place of safety and goes back to eating grass. Now, if it was at some point seen a tiger off in the distance and all of a sudden became the tiger jumped out and was chasing this deer, then it would go into its sympathetic nervous system, its chest breath, the survival, and the deer would run. And that place of being is not always the best place of making our decisions. It makes total sense, doesn't it? So when we're in this place of breathing up in our chest and we're in the sympathetic breath, it's not the best place to make our decisions because we've got a tiger chasing us. So, I won't be thinking about the three options that I have right now. I'd be just going with the first option that comes to mind, because this is when the rubber, meets the road. This is truly my survival. And then when that deer would get back into the meadow and it saved its own life and was successful in its survival, another defense mechanism is completed, and it can rest and come back into the lower deep diaphragmatic breathing, the 4-point breathing, the complete breath, and allow that calm and that expansion to come back into our bodies. Otherwise, the blood's always going to this concentrated area because the blood is bringing the oxygen with it to allow those cells to come back into expansion. So if you find that you're in an area of your body when you're going into this deep diaphragmatic breath, I invite you to be there fully conscious awareness into the mantra, but noticing where in the body it feels a little sticky. Let's start to learn the communication of our body. It's called our internal intelligence. This is all step one from self-healing ourselves, is the cellular health. We have control. We have the power to make a difference within this beautiful organism. This organism is simply trying to survive, and we are its keeper. And so what we do in our daily life and how we oxygenate, feed, and nourish each cell, 70 trillion cells in this body, is up to us. So with that, I would love to know, and I forgot again to say, this is Deborah O'Neill from blissbee.me, coming to you live from Vancouver, BC. Thank you, Deepak, Methchild. Thank you so much, Lucianne, Marlene. Oh, yay, thank you. I feel lovely. I feel so wonderful that you are here, fully supported, and I hope that I can support you right back. So, we're talking about habits. So how to bring this breath in. So when we go to bed at night, let's put our hands on our lower abdomen and breathe in and feel that bellowing out into our abdominal area. And then on the exhale, let's just allow the natural exhalation a little bit deeper on the inhale and longer on the exhale. And put our hand there. Sometimes I'll put, my hand on my chest, and I'll see if I'm breathing into my upper chest. And then I will use my imagination, just the same as I'm teaching and speaking here, is I'll use my imagination to bring my breath and my intention to bring it into my lower abdomen. And with that, I can almost like rock myself to sleep with the rhythm of my breath, with the expansion and the contraction. The inhalation is the expansion. The exhalation is the contraction. It's a natural way to be. And also, if we're taking care of children, or even parents, or ourselves, or our spouses, or anybody in our environment, you can imagine how this expansion and contraction naturally goes into our environment. So let's start that with as we go into the meditation now, going into the outro. So I'll be here I seem to be here for easily 5 minutes. So, and I invite you to stay as long as you can, and leave when you need to. No right or wrong, no fault or blame, no shoulds or shouldn'ts. It's just simply being. And what I do know, and is scientifically proven as well, is what we become aware of shifts. So let's spend the day shifting. So the mantra that I will use today is So Hum. Inhale on the So, exhale on the hum. I am that. I am that. Yes, we are. We are that. All that. And a bag of chips, as I would say sometimes. And it's okay to open the mouth and take a clearing breath. It's okay to shift the body as the body needs to be shifted. We're creating our internal communication. Our body knows now that we're listening. We're almost a week into this. The body is now going to a place of safety faster. Once we get to that place of safety, guess what? We can really start to get into the work once our body feels safe with us. That also means keeping agreements with ourselves. Every time we break an agreement with ourselves, we're creating a distrust with our body. So think of it as our greatest relationship is with us first. And once we know how to manage this relationship, trust me, we become so great at managing the relationships among us. We show up with greater clarity and understanding, a greater curiosity to learn more. Let's practice the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Side ribs, 4. Feel them expanding, 4. Coming in, 3. Low upper, lower, 2, and 1 to our deeper abdominal. Thank you so much for being with me here today. It means the world to me. Find 3 areas where you can create a habit of checking in on the deep breath. Perhaps every time we wash our hands. Watch the water coming out of the tap and allow our breath to follow that water that's coming out of the tap and into the deepest parts of our body. If you have the opportunity to a place where there's sunshine, every time you see the sun, take a nice deep breath and remind the body of the deep diaphragmatic breathing. Find what works for you. When you find something new, I'll add it to the list. And good reason to incorporate some live plants and live flowers into your life. Know that they are breathing too. Going outside with bare feet and stepping into the grass. And know that Mother Earth is breathing too. It's also important to know that you are fully supported. This regulated breath is a form of support. Your mantra, so hum, where you're counting, is a form of support. The chair that you're sitting on, you're laying on the floor on your yoga mat or on the couch or your bed or wherever you may be, whatever is supporting you is, in fact, supporting you. Allow the body to release tension, knowing it's fully supported. I'll quit talking now. I'll close with a namaste. I hope to see you here tomorrow morning at 8:45. I love you. My offering is to live bliss, teach bliss, be bliss. Education, embodiment, and euphoria. Please share. Replays are available under videos on the Facebook page. Namaste. I love you.